because that left leg is holding, man, for a long time.
I think I'm gonna go back to like a half hitch hang, a real Super Mario type punch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even to
Kind
kind
of,
of mimic or like to mirror the back arm, because the back arm's got a really good angle to it, but your front one you kind of just chop it. But if it
mhm.
were to come up with the knee, I think you'd end up with a little bit better force.
Yeah, it looks like I kind of cut my knee drive a little bit.
You kind of cut it, and then your left leg goes to join. And I'm gonna guess that when your left leg is joining, it's gonna go a little bit past your right leg.
Ooh, Zach, you are good.
And that's kind of forcing you to twist a little bit,
Yeah,
which I think right now, if you look at it, like I can see more of the right side of your chest because I think you're kind of might be opening a little bit.
yeah.
Your hips for sure are a little bit twisted.
All right. Welcome, 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 everybody, to the Coral Pod. You got Cam Van on the line and Zach. Say hello to the good people, Zach.
Hello, people.
Right on. And what number is this, Zach?
Stop asking me that. I don't remember. It's got to be what, 22?
I think it's 23, if I had to guess. If I was a guessing man.
Oh,
Welcome to the
bring it.
to the 23rd edition of the Coral Pod. You got two jumpers on the line, and today, what are we gonna break down for the people, Zach?
We're doing a breakdown.
Right.
Uh, one, you're right, it is 23. Uh, so yeah, I was off by one. But yeah, no, so we're doing a breakdown. The breakdown of today is to do breakdown. So we're gonna be looking at each other's some jumps or a jump of each other's, and we're going to break down what we see. Probably a little bit of like pros, good things we see, things that we could tell the other person to work on, and then yeah, probably gonna talk a lot about that, I'm sure.
Cool. Yeah, yeah, that's right. We're reviewing each other's jumps, calling it, a jump breakdown, of course. Maybe a verse of many if y'all like it and if we like it. And so, but before that, let's do a little check-in. Zach, you told me that you hurt your back, man. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so I am back on the injury list. Yeah, a couple weeks ago at practice or a week ago, tweaked it a little bit. Was very conservative moving forward. I saw my physical therapist, which I have been seeing since like I don't know, probably like May of this year. Uh, she worked on me a little bit. It was feeling better, and then just like yesterday, was doing a body weight workout and probably just put a little bit too much pressure on the that area of my back. And so yeah, now I feel like I'm going to be down for the count for another week probably, which not ideal. But yeah, I'm going to go see some medical professionals, some imaging specialists, try to get an MRI on it, and go from there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, best case scenario, they say here's what you can do to get better, and it works. Or worst case scenario, they say you got to go under the knife or something. So,
Right.
uh, yeah, I'm just kind of a little anxious about that, but that's that's how it goes when you're grown doing a sport. You run
Oh,
into
yeah.
stuff like that.
It's true. You're gonna tweak things, twist things, maybe even break things. But I think it's really good that you're getting an expert opinion and not just saying, hey, I'm just gonna wait a week and push through and then go back to training and then you tweak it again. That's been my old MO and it has not worked for me. Let's just say.
Now, I think once you're not like 18 anymore, you can't really be doing that too much. Like,
True.
I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe it's because like we do this sport that we're still working out and still doing some like crazy stuff, even though, we're in the second half of our 20s.
Mm.
We still feel young. Like, we still feel like really good shape. We still feel like really young, but then our body's like, like you're not as young as you think you are. But
That's some miles, man. It's true. Like, you gotta
yeah,
actually warm up before practice. I remember I didn't even really have to warm up when I was 18. Like
yeah.
I would roll out of bed and get to practice, 5 minutes before it started, and then our warm up was like 10 minutes, like a couple laps and some of the stretches, and then we were like, all right, let's do full approaches.
Yeah. And we're gonna sprint. No, that's
Yeah.
that's crazy. But now Cam, what have you been up to? How's your sessions going?
Man, pretty good. Really working on trying to like hit the pike actually. We'll go over it. You'll see it in my jump, I'm sure. Like I have never really been able to like get a full pike. When I say that, people, I mean like flex my legs all the way, like straight in the air, right? They're always like bent. And so I feel like I'm not really getting the most of my jump, my landing. Right. I feel like I'm losing inches, if not feet, just because I'm not stretching my legs out because my end ranges, my hamstrings are super tight. So I've been doing a ton of plyometric work where I'm like actually doing that end range motion, and it's like really hard. It's so funny. Even just little things like we do a drill where there's a hurdle and then you just like kind of kick over. And like my focus is to have straight legs the whole time. We do that in the beginning of practice and then after practice when I'm tired. And it's so funny to see like the difference. I like record myself. I look at the difference. I'm like, dude, I'm flailing over
Yeah.
even though I have a point of emphasis. So I'm getting a little bit better at that. So I'm excited to see what it would look like. But dude, like this part of the season is just grueling. Like the workouts are hard and long, and there's no sand time yet. So
No,
it's
not
like
yet.
so it's like look, but it's all good. You just got to be dedicated at this point and be like, I know this is hard, but I won't have to do this every day come the season because I'm doing it now.
Mm.
Hopefully the season I can just focus on like actual jump stuff, as opposed to like base building, So anyways, that's how that's going. And I guess like not really an injury, but my like left calf, my jump leg's my left leg. My left calf and like Achilles kind of has been like moderate pain when I do single leg plyometric stuff on it.
Mm.
Like let's say I'll do like single leg bounds on that leg. It starts to flare up a little bit. So I don't really know what that's about. It's kind of a new thing. I'm hoping it doesn't get any, worse, but maybe
Right.
insoles in my shoe or something. I also just got new shoes, so that could be it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's always like a 2, 3 week period where you get new shoes. You kind of have to like break them in, make sure they're
Yeah.
good
I,
before you start
I didn't
ripping
want
that
to
stuff.
didn't want to, but the bottom of my soles were just like were like,
Spare tire. Yeah.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
this is not working.
Yeah.
Anyways, cool. Well, let's get to it. You want to go first, Zach? Or do you want do you want to show me your video and then I'll break it down?
Yeah. Yeah. You got
All
it on
right.
your screen, right? Or are we
I got
gonna?
it. I got it on my screen. We
Yeah.
can do it on mine.
And apologize to the people who are listening to this podcast. This is going to be a highly visual episode. So,
It's true. It'll be on YouTube though, y'all. So you can check that out, or you can just, we can paint a picture
use,
without words.
yeah, use your imagination.
All right. Let's screen share this. Why don't you tell us where you are, Zach, on this?
This is UC San Diego, one of their numerous jump pits. Luckily for me, they always had this. You see this blue box in like the left corner here.
Yeah.
That right there has been like they just leave that out. And there's a rake that they left out too. So like they really were looking out for me here.
Flag.
I didn't have to like
Wow.
I didn't have to like be a like dog and like shovel with my hands, like try to like cover my jump marks. They left a rake out. But yeah, I was just doing some I think this practice I was either doing 4 or 5 step approaches
Hmm.
off a small box to get a little bit more hang time and just kind of work on pushing off the board or box and then kind of in flight mechanics, trying to slow everything down, working on a huge knee and punch up,
Mhm.
and then so you should be seeing my right knee and my left elbow really punching up really violently, trying to hold that out, and then yeah, kind of just go through it. So
All right, good to know. Cool. Well, let's just do a playthrough. Okay. Oh, damn. That's swag. Ooh. See, that's that pike I'm trying to get, man. Let's watch it again. So I'm gonna just drag through things, and then just like talk about what I see. So, okay. Couldn't really see the penultimate, obviously. Okay. So takeoff step. Nice. It's leading in front of you. Obviously, that's what we want, right? But not it doesn't look like it's too much. It looks like you can still, pretty much run off. It looks just like that could be a run, right? So it's like what we look for here. Looking strong. Swing leg is pretty close too. So it's like, that's something I've been thinking about too. I know I sort of have like a trailing swing leg on my back leg,
Hmm.
right? And it's not like, you want your knees to be kind of close together as your contact goes. So yours is pretty much like right under you, which is like nice. Good stuff. Yeah, see what I'm talking about? It's like right under you. Like whatever. Well, whoops. Man, it's hard to drive. Okay, so swing leg's coming. Oh, what's up, Lando? Um, Punch. There's that punch you're talking about. Boom, look at that. Oh, like straight back leg, knees punching up. Like that's man, that is like that's a picture. That's ideal right there. Boom. Driving it up, doesn't drop the drive knee. And then he gets into his air mechanics, still kicking out that front leg to balance himself out. And then he like Harper talked about staying long for longer, right? That's what looks like what you're doing. Look at that long leg under him. Airwalk mechanic, swing other leg through. Hands are up and high in front of him. He's not rushing things, letting it breathe, bringing that other leg in, and then he sweeps. Boom, land. Beautiful. And then the big old kick out for some flex. A little sand attack. Nice stuff. So that's all of what I see. Things that I wonder that you can focus on back here. I wonder, like your leg is pretty much under you, or your swing leg. I wonder, would you think that it would be better to be close? Like, should it be closer, or is that sort of like the ideal for you?
The leg that's coming through.
Yeah, your back leg. Yeah, your right leg, it looks like. So your left leg is planted, right? Just your takeoff leg is you're about to take off, and your right leg is swinging through. Do you think that it should be closer, or do you think that that's sort of ideal? It's like right under you.
I think that leg is fine.
Okay.
What I think about is my so if you kind of go through and go from like my push off into like where my heel sets down
There.
onto the yeah, a little bit further. So that that to me is too far out in front of me.
Uh,
I want that to be I want that to be straighter and I want it to be more under me. And that's kind of hard when you're going up onto a box.
yeah, the fight is.
But that still shows me in my mind that my penultimate, my last step, I'm
Mhm.
not pushing hard enough into that final takeoff. Because
Uh,
your last like step essentially should be really quick and violent, but
yeah.
you should also like so I'm a left foot jumper, so my right leg on my second to last step or my last step, I guess, I
Mhm.
should be pushing a little bit more onto my penultimate. So I'm not just setting it down, I'm
Yeah.
snapping it underneath me. The right leg can do what it wants. The trail leg that's going to punch up on the takeoff. It's more of my takeoff that I'm concerned with here because
Gotcha.
if yeah, that so this freeze frame right here where my right leg, my trail leg, my thigh is parallel or perpendicular to the ground.
Right.
If you were to trace it out, you'd get a T kind of coming from where my knee is to like the bottom of the track. But my takeoff leg has
Mhm.
that angle to it where I think I'm absorbing too much impact there.
So you'd want to be a little bit more under, like
I would want, yeah, I would want my hips to be a little bit further forward as my foot's hitting the ground. I think I'm putting up my foot too early and then it's sitting on the ground as I'm working through it.
and so
I think
yeah,
it should be faster.
right.
Hips should be up a little bit higher. It should be hit the ground a lot slower. or I'm a lot faster.
Mhm.
And like if you play it like even in slow motion, like I feel like my foot's on the ground for like a decent amount of time.
Let's see. I mean, the slow-mo starts right when you do it, but
Yeah.
it it is like right when you contact, you kind of come over and then it's still on the ground and you get a full push off. So I mean, yeah, I do think you could maybe be a little bit faster. You know, it's so you come on, you're behind it, and then you kind of come over and then you're in front and it's still on, still on, still on, boom. Yeah. I wonder if it's a function of the box, since it's elevated, right? Like if it was lower, maybe you'd be on top of yourself a little bit longer and be able to run off. But if you can do it on the box, you could do it off a box, right?
Yeah.
So that's an interesting point of emphasis. I really like your take off how you keep extended. Do you have you ever thought about because I know a lot of jumpers do this, they kick that front leg out and it's like to fight that forward rotation, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And then you come down and then you swing that other leg.
And this is what I don't like about my hitch kick right here is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
left. So I'm like, I have a third left in my jump, arguably. Like I'm not halfway, but I'm a little past halfway in my jump.
Yeah.
And my left leg just stays there. It doesn't
Hmm.
do anything. It just stays there. And then like at that point, I'm holding my legs out for too long.
Right.
Same thing we talked about with Harper. And then by that point, like the kind of fatigue sets in and it just naturally they drop a little bit. And so if you see when I hit the sand, like I have so much forward momentum that my hips almost land past my heels because they're dropping so soon.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, like, do you think you should do another hitch here? Because that left leg is holding, man, for a long time.
I think I'm gonna go back to like a half hitch hang.
Okay.
So the right leg is gonna cycle through,
Mm-hmm.
and then I want my left leg to stay down, and then my right leg as it cycles back, it'll meet my left, and they both come up together to
Yeah.
go knee up, feet out, sand.
So like right here, your both those legs will meet each other, and then you swing down,
It'd be
and
more of so back it up a little bit. It'd be right there.
yeah.
My my right leg probably wouldn't be as far back as it
Mhm.
is, which is another thing I've talked to a couple of coaches about is like, why is my right leg like way out here? Like my left foot, there's a point in where you pause this video, I'm like almost doing the splits like midair. It's crazy.
I
It's
mean,
it's like yeah, it's too much going on. But it would be essentially like where my right leg is kind of perpendicular to the ground
there.
after it sweeps through. Kind of, yeah. It would be more like there, both my legs would still be down in that like hang,
Right.
and then they would be coming where my right leg kind of goes knee up
Hmm.
and then feet out. Both legs would be doing that. That would be my ideal landing.
Okay. And people, it's not an exact science. It's like you gotta look at your video and be like, what do you see? And then say, hey, what if I try this? And then you go and try it a bunch of times, and then you figure out you don't like it, or you do like it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of a feeling thing. I think I agree though. I think that like maybe the hitch hang could be beneficial because I do think that left leg, man, it's out there for a long time. It's hard to swing that right leg through and then like here. I also wonder if you could sweep a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you definitely sweep, but I wonder if I mean it's slow motion, so you can't really tell how hard you're sweeping. But I wonder if you get a little bit more of a sweep here to help like kind of get that leg kick action. Because that's great, but that left leg is falling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, boom. Actually, I mean, maybe it's just the angle. Maybe they do fall at the same. It's hard to say,
I think
but
my left is definitely hitting the sand first there.
right, like it's like a quarter shoe, but that's a couple inches maybe.
I mean, that would be the difference between like 7, 9, 5, and 8, probably.
Right. And hey, 8 is the auto qualifier. So
Yep, yep, yep.
so yeah, man, that's what I see. I mean, all in all, like of course it's a great job. We're nitpicking, but like that's what we need to do, because the macro stuff we got, but it's the little things here and there give us point 0.5, like 5 centimeters, 10 centimeters. You do that a few times here and there, and all of a sudden you're at the Olympics. Yeah,
Yeah.
so how did this jump feel for you? Like, did it like after you jumped, did you feel like this was a good jump? Did you feel like, oh, like you so? Like, what was the feeling?
I don't remember. It was a
Yeah.
while ago. I'm a little bit like a goldfish where I do forget.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't think I was like, I don't know. Practice is hard because like when I'm by myself, like something will like feel okay. Like I had great height off of it. Like it felt good to kind of be up in the air for that long.
Mhm.
But I probably went back, looked at this video, and was like, ugh,
Duh.
not good.
Well, it looks good to me, y'all. Looks good to me. But anyways, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's switch on over to the video that I don't know if you've seen this video. I hope not, because okay, we back now. Well, after some technical difficulties, we overcame them. Okay, so we're back. So this is me at Chula Vista at some point this year. I think maybe June or May. You probably even here, Zach. But uh, for the people wondering on this video, we slapped a little Coro AI on it, so you can actually you can use this yourself. Like this is the beta version, right? It's just the stick figures, but pretty soon it'd be the angles and the ideal angles and the reports and all that good stuff. So, but right now it's just kind of a stick figure, so you can sort of trace your body a little bit. So well, I'm just gonna play it, and then you can sort of see it, and then tell me places of emphasis. Man, every time. Whoops. That was that was your video, I should say. But yeah, so Zach, what
I liked your last couple steps, like that push in there.
mhm.
Uh, there, it's good. I think you're setting yourself up for a big spring into your last step, so you can really snap that foot down.
Mhm.
Uh, if you drag it a little bit further, you can see the arms are getting ready. You're a little lean back
Yeah,
coming into that. If you were to get a little bit more upright, that leg would be in a really good spot. It's
yeah,
the heels got a good come through. The knee drive is pretty good. You could be pushing out a little bit more, I could say. You're going really
mhm.
up,
Yeah,
but if you kind of had a little bit more of a like a tilt to it, that would be great. The left arm can definitely punch up a little bit more. If you had
yeah,
a little bit more of like a real Super Mario type punch,
yeah.
even to
Kind of,
kind of mimic like to mirror the back arm because the back arm's got a really good angle to it, but your front one you kind of just chop it. But if it
mhm.
were to come up with the knee, I think you'd end up with a little bit better force. Um,
Yeah,
Pretty good there. Just hanging out, just steez through the air, sweep through. Knees are kind of at I can even see, even though we're sideways to the video,
yeah,
you're kind of turned a little bit towards it because you can see your right leg. You can see like the inside of your left leg, and your right leg is
exactly.
kind of like at that angle,
Hmm.
um, coming up together and then out. I think would benefit you.
Yeah. They're spread apart. So I'm kind of swinging. I swing them out and then together, but it's not good.
Yeah,
And then here's the pike
yeah.
in air quotes for those just listening, because it's not a pike.
It's not. I mean, all things considered, it's a pretty good landing, though. I mean, You're holding that out, the heels touch, and then the hips follow through, land a little bit past the heels, which
Mm.
ideally you want to see like the even or your hips landing a little bit back from the heels just to make sure you're like out in front of yourself.
Mm.
But if you kind of trace down where your hips land into the sand, it's a little bit past your right foot, which can we go back to the takeoff?
Yes, we can.
I want to see something here. Because at some point, I think you might twist a little bit in the air, which is a little strange. So here.
All right, we're at the takeoff.
Mm-hmm.
Foot plant.
So yeah,
All
keep scrolling it.
right, knee drive. Yeah, it looks like I kind of cut my knee drive a little bit.
You kind of cut it, and then your left leg goes to join. And I'm gonna guess that when your left leg is joining, it's gonna go a little bit past your right leg.
Ooh, Zach, you are good.
And that's kind of forcing you to twist a little bit,
Yeah,
which I think right now, if you look at it, like I can see more of your the right side of your chest because I think you're kind of might be opening a little bit.
yeah.
Your hips for sure are a little bit twisted. So even though your chest, so right there, you can definitely see how you're turned a little bit, like
Mm-hmm.
a couple degrees to the right. So it might be worth trying to work on your arms off takeoff
Mm.
to kind of mimic the what your lower legs are doing because that might keep you a little bit more squared up. If your left leg comes out or left arm comes out a little bit higher with the right arm, and then as you're going through the air, if the left arm goes down, right leg comes up.
Okay,
Because
right.
right here, so keep scrolling. If you watch the right arm, it kind of just hangs back, hangs back, hangs back. There's a point when the left leg comes forward, the right arm is still back. Both arms are back, in
Mm-hmm.
fact. So you're not when that left leg is moving forward, the right arm has to move forward too.
Right. They're not connected right now.
Yeah. So I think it'd be a matter of trying to sync up those sides. Like if you think of yourself, in four quarters, split down the middle and then like vertically and then horizontally, like at the hips. Like, the say your left side, your left upper is one, right upper is two, left lower is three, right lower is four.
Right.
One and four and two and three have to be synced up.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, you're gonna end up like off balance. Like if one and three and two and four are synced up,
Yeah.
then you're gonna end up like right arm, right leg, like going up for like a layup almost, like kind of like the awkwardness there. But
Yeah.
then if any single one of those kind of goes out of, say so your number three quadrant is kind of pushing forward and your two is not coming with it.
Yeah.
So that rotational energy of your three coming forward and kind of pushing forward is kind of sending everything into like a little bit of like a twist to the right.
Yeah. I'm off on
Everything like gyroscopically is kind of turning a little bit to the right. But if two and three are kind of more synced up, so you get that push with left, so one arm's coming up, uh, four right leg is coming up,
that. Hmm.
and then those drop down, then two and four or two and three have to kind of come together here and also follow through. So you're kind of keeping that rotational energy the same.
Mm, yeah. And it's not the same right now because you can see just like looking at my arms, right? They're not together, right? So like
Mm.
the left one is a little bit back, my right one's a little is like
And you can see so much of the inside of your left leg,
right.
right?
And I should not. Like my right leg is not even swung all the way through. And then the arms aren't synced, the legs aren't synced until there, really.
Yeah.
But even then, my right leg, you can't see because like it's white shoes and on the white
Yeah.
sand, but my right leg drops before my left. You could really see it there, right? I have like a pretty exaggerated leg drop, and I always have. I thought it was because of weak hips, but maybe it's because of a lack of coordination.
That, yeah, it could be like that rotational.
Man, this is why you need to examine your stuff, people,
Yeah.
and examine it with a pro like Zach, because I have watched this video a ton of times and I've never seen that. So, so thank you, Zach. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's from that angle, it's like when you start going to your landing and like the legs are coming to come together, the right leg does sweep out. It's like you're almost doing like a hurdle step over with the right leg. But I can see so much of the inside of your left thigh. It's like
Yeah,
it's just not.
it
Yeah, I
does
don't
feel
know.
wrong.
It,
I need to bring that knee instead of around, just up, right? I need to. I feel like because my
mhm.
left knee, just comes up, but my right leg opens up so much.
Yeah, yeah. Bring it back a little bit. I want to see like just after takeoff here. Because you go immediately into the hang where everything kind of goes up, like the right leg goes up, and then you kind of just go limp with it instead
Yeah.
of possibly could be worth trying to cycle more with the right leg to not turn it into a hitch kick,
Mm,
but cycle with the left leg or the right leg off takeoff. So knee punches up, it opens up, comes back around. That point, the left arm goes down, right arm comes up as the left knee comes to join the right knee. So
okay.
you'll
Okay.
be into a little bit more of like having a like a one half hitch off takeoff. So the right knee punches, left arm punches, they both kind of rotate down. And then as the left leg comes off the board, the same way it does here, the right leg is coming back around to join it.
So instead of just like, right here, it looks like it almost wants to, like I want to take a step through, but I don't. I just hold it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So instead, what you're saying is I could just take one easy step through,
Yeah.
like a half hitch, basically, kind of, just to, you know, it's
Yeah.
almost like a
Can
hit.
you go back to my video for a quick second?
Yes.
So this one, keep playing that for a little. So pause here,
Hmm.
drag it back a little bit. So the right knee, so my thigh stays like parallel to the ground here.
Right.
It keeps going.
Take it out.
The right leg, the right foot opens up, comes back down. And so
I see
instead
what
of
you're
having, so for you, instead of having your left leg do what my leg is doing here and punching out to do a hitch,
saying.
you keep that down. The right leg, as you play
Hmm.
this, the right leg will come to join it.
Yeah, you punch the right leg and
Yeah,
then,
it's not going to be that far out because your body's going to naturally balance itself. It's not going to be that your heel's not going to be so far out behind you.
yeah.
But as that right leg comes back around after the hitch to join the left,
Hmm.
both arms would be it'd be left punch, right comes up, and then left comes to join it.
Right.
And then you go knee up, heel out, swoop
Hmm.
down.
Hands up, knees up, legs out, swing. That's what I say to
Yeah.
myself all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that makes so much sense. And
Mhm.
I was trying to think like, oh, what am I gonna do with my landing? Like, am I gonna change it? Am I gonna still do the hang or the sail or whatever people call it? But I think that makes a lot more sense to me. And I used to kind of do that, and I got away from it because I like sped into it too fast.
Mhm.
Right? But I always have a habit of like rushing into my landing. I gotta kind of like let this knee drive out. Like, let's I guess go to the other one. I gotta let this I gotta let this knee drive live. It's like I want to kick it, but I don't. It just kind of hangs. Like it's like in between. It's in between both things, which aren't good. Like
Mhm.
I want a knee drive, and I also kind of want to do that kick, and I'm fighting both of those and not getting much out of it. I mean, I guess it's a
Yeah.
fine. I think it was 7-4, 7-5, or something.
Mhm.
Uh, but you know, I think shoring up a lot of those things, it could have been a 7-6 or 7-7.
Yeah. So draw back a little bit.
Mhm.
So okay, so your knee drive, it's really good there. That's a fantastic knee drive. Keep going forward a little bit, little bit, dropping now.
Mhm.
So look how far into your jump you are where the knee starts dropping.
Mhm.
if that knee stays up longer,
Yeah.
like even if it was still up now, or like if you still had it in that position, then that's gonna help your landing be later because your knee drive is sticking for that much longer.
Right.
You're not dropping it immediately. Like, okay, so like go back to my video real quick.
Mm.
Not saying, and like I want to preface this, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm better, blah blah blah.
Oh no, I didn't take it like that at all.
But just so the knee drive here, if you watch the knee drive, still up, still up, still up, dropping now.
Right.
And there's not much of a difference. I think like I might be like a couple of feet further into my jump than you are when my knee starts coming down,
Yeah, it's still going up right there.
is when it starts, it's like kind of descent.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's
And
keeping me a little bit slower through my motions so that my landing can be later in the jump, even though my left leg wants to stick around for so fucking for just so long. It's
there's a lot that
anyway.
goes into this jump, people. You know, it's not as easy as run and jump. You know, like there's a lot. There's so many things. It's so technical. You gotta watch your video and break it down, and you gotta break it down with somebody else so that they might see something that you've never seen, never thought about, right? And so there's so much value in doing this with a friend, doing it with the pro, like Zach on Coro, send him a video.
Look
Uh,
at that chicken wing I got right there, my right
yeah,
arm.
it's just like it's just kind of
It's just hanging
hanging,
out. It's just
and
hanging
then,
out.
and then it goes up.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that your right arm doesn't shoot up all the way like your left arm does a great job and it's up. Your right arm is kind of bent, but it
It
doesn't.
makes sense because my left leg is the thing that is messed up. So that's my two and that's my three. Then and like that's where that disconnect is coming from. It's like my left leg is kind of like, and then my right arm is like it can't do what it wants to do
Mhm.
because my left leg is not cooperating either.
Do you think that maybe you could shoot that right arm up and that might help the left leg? Or are you thinking about it left leg drives the right arm?
Tough to say.
Hard to say.
Uh, Tough to say. I've tried to do like a full hitch. I don't know
Mm,
if I still have a video of it. I've tried to do like, all right, I'm gonna take off and I'm gonna just cycle my leg. I'm just gonna run through air. It's gonna be crazy. And
yeah.
then I get to the point where like I get to like this part of it, and my legs are just like they just kind of kick around. They just kick around a little bit because I my arms don't fluidly swim. I
Sure.
don't have to swim with my arms. So it's a bit of both where it's like my legs can't do it because my arms can't do it, but my arms can't do it because my legs can't do it,
Mm,
which is why I want to just chop it and just kind of go, all right, my first half hitch is great. My knee is driving, it's holding up. My left arm could be a little better. Honestly, I could get that elbow a little bit further up.
I mean, the punch is nice there.
But it
Maybe you
should
could a
be
little bit. I see what you're saying.
should be
Yeah.
higher.
Should be kind of like at your face level, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, like Super Mario, like real aggressive punch. But then, kind of just having the right leg or the left leg try to pause that where it stays back there. Right
Yeah.
leg comes back, arms join up, everything's synced, sweep through. So like Simon Ehammer and Tobias Montelier or whatever his name is.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to have a little bit more of their hang where they just have like it's really quick, but it's like a half hitch and then everything kind of comes together where it's like punch one side punches and then it's like together land.
Okay.
Uh, that's more of what I want to have going on.
Mm.
So I have to make my hitch longer still, my half hitch. I have to like really have it take time and then go to my landing.
Yeah. Take your time up there. Enjoy the breeze.
Yeah,
Pull that sail, fly, and then land, I guess. You know.
whenever I want. Yeah, but
Okay, I guess
land,
it's fine.
ideally land.
Man. I'm in. Hey, I'll keep going. I'll keep flying if I can.
Yeah, it's just
Anyways, cool stuff. That was fun. that was a cool exercise in general, but also, I think there's a lot of value in it for people to see how we think and how we analyze ourselves and how there's always room for growth and improvement. I hope, we're not maxed out. Uh, definitely not. There's a lot that can be shored up. But just the value in doing this with yourself, with your friend, with the pro, all of that, any all up and down the rung, there's value. So I
Mm,
hope the listeners, in whatever sport they're doing, think, man, maybe I should analyze my own video. Man, what am I not seeing? You don't know what you're not seeing. So why don't you check with a friend who you train with, or your coach who you trust, or Zach, who you just heard, you know, showed me something that I've seen this video probably 100 times. And I've never thought about seeing the inside of my knee. I was like, or inside of my leg, but it makes so much sense, and I do land on my side intentionally,
mm.
but I'm like, I shouldn't be doing that in the air, you know?
A side landing versus rotating in the air is a little different.
Right. But
Yeah.
I've always landed on my side, but I'm like rotating in the air. I'm like, like I'm in a chair.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
anyway.
if you were there for much longer in the air, you'd start just turning, just fully landing
Oh my
sideways.
God. Land on my hip. That would be horrible.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
no,
it's
yeah, it's a huge tool for people that I mean, that's why you want to practice with a coach if you can, because you want to have someone who has eyes on you that is going to be able to tell you to tweak things here and there. And if you don't have a coach, ideally that's something that core is going to be super important for
exactly.
is let me upload my video and ask someone for help or send it to someone on Coro for their opinion. uh Send it to multiple people, compile. I mean, obviously you don't want too much to work with, you don't want to have a million things going in your head when you're jumping, but send it to people and see if they say the same things about it. Oh, your knee drive, oh, your knee drive, oh, your knee drive. Then you
Mhm.
think, oh, maybe I should work on my knee drive. Or oh, like I'm just dropping my hips in my landing or dropping my feet in my landing, and six people say that, then boom, that's something to think about. um
Right. And then
like
it's not just about like, okay, I need to work on my knee drive. That's just because you know what you need to work on doesn't mean you know how to work on it. Right. The
yeah,
next question needs to be, how do I do that?
no,
Like,
for sure, yeah, and then following up with like, okay, how do I do that?
mhm,
Yeah, that's very important too.
how do I do that? And then also check in a week. I've been working on it. This is what it looks like. I've been working on it for 2 weeks. This is what it looks like, or like I'm confused or whatever, right? Like, it's not a linear path, right? Training is not a linear path. Sometimes you just have a breakthrough and then you've been working on something for 3 months and all of a sudden you figure it out. You're like, oh, wait, this is how you do it. And then you could do it forevermore, right? It's
Mhm.
so strange. Um, I like recently, I had never been really good at cycling on my left leg for bounds for whatever. So I like for triple jump or whatever, I would always, I right, left.
Mhm.
I jump. And so my right leg is, I have the neural pathways to bound it very well, but I could never cycle on my left really. And like this week, for whatever reason, I did it. And my coach was like, bro, like, what happened? Like now you're cycling well, or what well enough, And I was like, I don't know. I just figured it out. And then he's like, do it again. I did it again, and it was the same. And he was like, you figured it out. I don't know what happened, but you got it now, right? And I've been doing this for a long time. It took me to be 28 to be able to learn how to cycle on my left leg. I don't know why, right? So these things aren't linear. Don't feel like I've put in 2 weeks. I should be 2 weeks better. You're on your way, right? It's like it takes a lot of experience to get from 0 to 1 sometimes. And once you got it, you got it. So keep working at it.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, think about if you're stacking grains of sand to make a sandcastle every day, it's going to feel really monotonous to drop one piece of sand, but then give it a super long time, you're going to turn around and be like, oh wow, I had a huge pile of sand going on.
So
uh Not the best metaphor, but hey, that works.
I like it. I like it. And it is. You're building your sandcastle, a few mounds at a time, right? Like let's say you have a handful of sand that you can add every single practice, right? And so the more you add, the better it'll be. but you can't focus on those individual grains. You can't focus on that one hand mound because one hand's worth of sand does not make a sandcastle. But over the course of years, over the course of weeks, months, whatever, you get closer and closer. Your sandcastle gets better and better.
Yeah.
So, I'm with you there. Totally.
No, I don't know. I like how my brain jumped to sand because I was just thinking like, yeah, even if you build a pretty decent castle and you want to start over, the good thing about sand is you can just swipe it away, start over. Kind of like we were
Bars.
talking about with I want to change my jump again. I've changed so like college I had a jump, first year out had a jump. This past year, past 2 years had a jump. I'm starting again.
Hmm.
I'm restarting on what I want my jump to look like in air. And I can do that because I have this base built up and like whatever's on top, I'm just gonna swipe it away, build it up from scratch. Take
Yeah.
the pieces I like, keep those, and then kind of, work from there.
Got to be pliable, got to be malleable, flexible, all that stuff. Got to try new things. It's fun part of that's the fun aspect of jumping. You get to try new stuff. Like for, I don't know, I'm not a 100-meter sprinter, but I don't know how much they get to change. For
I
us,
don't
like,
think there's any artistic like image in sprinting. It's all like mechanical, like you gotta run a certain way, but jumps it's like, oh, I
we're,
don't like how I'm doing this. I'm gonna change it.
we're artists. It's true.
Yeah.
And I'm sensitive about my craft. I'm just playing. It's true. Like it's like, what? I feel like that looks cool when people do it like that. I'm gonna try it. Just because it looks cool, like, whatever. Or that doesn't feel right. I'm gonna change it up this year just cause. So that's the fun stuff, man. But man, this was fun. People let us know if you like it. We can continue to doing it. Maybe for one of the lucky listeners, they can send us a video of themselves and then we'll break it down on the pod. That could be interesting.
Could be. Yeah. Yeah, we might do some more breakdowns as far as just like drills and stuff too. We kind of jumped into doing like jumps, like long full approach. Well, not full approach, but well, yours full approach, mine was short approach. But really breaking down like the jumps. But we might even start from kind of like a basic standpoint.
I like that.
For the young ones just getting into the sport, need some sort of guideline of like, how do I do an A skip?
It's
I'm
true.
doing it, but I don't know if I'm feeling it right. Like,
Yeah, yeah. We
yeah,
could maybe both do the same set of drills or whatever, and then we can, you know, talk about what we like about it, what we don't like about it. Like A skip is very universal. A lot of people do it. And we can just see. I'm just interested to see what the differences are, and we can also show people, hey, we've been doing this all our lives. We can still be better. There are things that we see, I'm sure, that
yeah.
that we can be better at. So that'd be cool. Maybe we'll do that next time. But right on. Are there any other things you want to talk about before we hop, Zach?
Uh, no matter where you are in your season, just keep grinding because this is the important part. Uh, keep at it.
Right on. Well said. Keep grinding, keep working at it. You'll get better. It's just a matter of time. And lucky you, all you got is time. So with that, I will say you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on I'm on TikTok too. Right. I think my handles are Cam the Man Van and Zach, your belt jumps, right?
Yeah. BLTZZ_jumps with the Z. Uh, we should get a Coro Instagram page or a pod page.
We should. It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get on that, people.
Coro pod page coming soon. And
Coming
then from
soon.
there, because my Instagram handle is just annoying to pronounce, and I did that for a reason. Not sure why. Coropod page, whatever the name is going to be, find it, and then we'll be linked on there, and then we'll have regular updates when we do pods.
Yep, we'll do that. And then also you can also just check the regular Coral page. It's called Coral for Athletes on Instagram, TikTok. We're on YouTube. So check the link in the description. You can get all that good stuff. But we appreciate you as always for listening this far, and we will see you next time.